Hello, welcome back to Boonhae Hosinsul, our practical applications for our ITF patterns, our tools. Today we're going to be looking at our scooping block, our front snap kick, and finishing with our reverse punch when we land. So in our pattern of ITF and Won-Hyo, we come back in from fixed stance here, and as we come in, we relax, come in, scooping block, come out, come down, and punch. Okay? So we're going to be doing both sides because you should be practicing both sides. And today we're introducing the weapon of choice is either going to be, I just like the billy club, so I use a billy club, or you can use the stick. It could be a pipe, it could be whatever you want. We're also going to be using the pass or the baton that I use. We use it in self-defense practice, but also the baton people can carry in cars. They're typically illegal in there, but you can still carry one illegally. People don't care. Okay, so we're going to be using that as well. But a lot of times you'll see in self-defense, people will use the mini baseball bats and carry them in their cars. Given the choice in self-defense, the intelligent thing to do when faced with a weapon is
to get away.
To run away. Okay? Sometimes you cannot get away. For instance, we were talking about a little while ago a situation where you can't necessarily get away as well.
Oh, I think my kids are with me.
Okay, so she has 5 kids. They've been in past videos before. So that's a major one. What's another one?
You're up against a wall or just in a crowded space.
Okay, so 3 scenarios that you can't necessarily get away that easily when it comes to self-defense in a situation. Because typically, yeah, if you're pushed into a weapon situation and something like this is involved, this is typically, this I would consider like a car altercation or something like that. Nobody maybe is going to come up on you and start swinging at you and warning you about this unless it's like a machete blade and where somewhere else where machetes are typically more used quite a bit. So where we live, the crime rate has gone up quite a bit when it comes to like bicycle theft and or like people stealing around here, and they carry whatever they can on them, so typically a knife or something like that. And I could definitely see like a pipe or a club like this to get into the wrong hands is easily a weapon to either snatch that bike up or rob or attack to get whatever they want from that person. Okay? So it's pretty common here for someone to carry something like a club or a pipe or a crowbar, which is really bad, or even my baton like that. So the first motion we're going to look at is opening the hands for the scooping block. Okay? So when we wind up on our scooping block and we bring our feet together, we come out, our hands come open in a relaxed motion, and we create a nice big swing to create our scooping block as we twist our hips. So we're going to utilize that as the way to move into the body. So if I have like a baton or a club or something like this, anything that has length to it, the damage becomes increased the higher up I get on the baseball bat or the club or whatever it is. So the closer I get to the hand, the weaker it becomes. Okay? So the most important thing is you have a choice. If you're dealing with the weapon and you're choosing now to defend yourself, or you don't have a choice and you have to deal with it, you have a choice to either step backwards, away from it, okay, away from it, making sure your guard is up, okay? That way, if it does hit something, it's your hands, it's not your head or something like this. Or you need to move into it in some way, okay? Now, we're gonna go, I'm starting off gentle in a swing, so you guys can see the motion I'm swinging at. I'm doing a typical swing this way, here, or even here. It doesn't matter which way I'm swinging, expect to get hit, okay? If you're choosing to confront the weapon, or you have no other choice, expect the weapon to make contact with your body in some way. Whether it's a knife, a club, a pipe, or anything like that, okay? So, as I'm stepping in and swinging, it doesn't really matter what my legs do. I can step in and swing, or I'm just like this and go boom like that. Either way is fine, okay? But as we're moving in, we're our open hands for our scooping block is shooting forward this way. Boom. Okay? And the setup is to make sure that as we're coming in, our hands then pull together to squeeze and trap the tricep if possible. Okay? So as commence. Okay, so from here, the opposite hand, we're not overly concerned about the punches and the swings. We need to be more concerned about the weapon. So make sure your head is buried either towards my shoulder or downward on top of the arm. So this attacking arm this way, you're burying it down. And we're going gentle at first, but when we go for full speed, I want her to basically rip my shoulder out of socket as she pulls it across. Okay? So opposite hand comes across for the scooping motion. This way, locking the arm in place. Locking my arm. Now, of course, you don't have to do the shape of the block this way. Okay? You don't have to turn your hand out this way to create the block. This is just for the application sense. Okay? When we go for reality, this now becomes trapping on the tricep. You're collapsing it down on top. Same motion, just collapsing. Coming down this way. Okay? Alright, so again, home, trapping down, and collapsing. This hand comes across the body, and as I said, this hand can hit, boom. This could try to hit the back. Everything I'm trying to swing at, the only concept right now is to control the weapon hand. So you might take body shots, but your head needs to be the most protected area. Okay? So our next part, the way the body is shaped, we're going to line up our front snap kick with the lead leg, or if the legs are switched, it can be the back leg. And so, good. Here, front snap, home. On the side of the leg, and again, home. Okay? So, good. Okay? So if you see my stepping foot moving, that's where the application of the side block or this to this comes in. So I'm moving her foot into the place that I want as I keep that boom, boom, boom. Okay? Like I said, we're doing both sides, so it doesn't really matter what leg you kick. But if we're practicing the application, it should be right leg kicks to the left. Okay? And if you're practicing correctly in ITF, your kick, front snap kick does not go up. It should be midsection. So if I lower my body to this side, this is practical for this side. You don't have to go here or up here. Okay? All the way up to that point, turn through right away, kick, and then from here. Okay? So after this, I want you to look back and be super heavy on the weapon and look back towards the stick. Because I want you to reach back and grab the stick. If it's a bladed weapon, don't be an idiot. But if it's a blunt object like a baseball bat, not a baseball bat, like a club, a mini baseball bat, or a pipe or something like this, that's how I want you to move out. Okay? My body's up right now, but I'm going to show you how I want the person to be when you're reaching for it, or how you should be controlling them a little bit better. Okay, go ahead. So from here, she's pulling the pulling hand on this side to the tricep, and this is going to be our finishing punch on the long on this side. Okay? So when you're doing this, right here, as I come through, bury, as I shoot through, I move these off to the side, I kick, boom. As I kick, I look back and I reach. Don't just pull. We're going towards their hip, this way. That way, if it doesn't break, I can continue to move the person back. Not stop here, and if it doesn't break, it doesn't break. Right? If it doesn't break, it doesn't break. I continue to, like I'm punching this way. That way I can continue my weight forward. I either break it, or I lock it, and continue the motion to twist the body. Okay? This should be the 1 and 2. And then whatever kick, I don't care which one it is. If it's here, or if it's here, you go. Then you lock them down again, and then you find this again, and you pop it back this way. So your head needs to stay with my shoulder the whole time. Like you're listening and keeping weight. This. Okay, now you have your leg. Yeah. This becomes harder for me to stand. so now we're going to use the metal baton, asp, or whatever you want to call it. It's about a little bit shorter than my sticks that we use, which means, in my opinion, it's easier to conceal, so it's a little bit better to carry to threaten you with in this instance, because I'm not here to defend myself when I have this, and she has nothing. Okay? So it's still going to hurt a lot, but the more you can get to the hand, the closer you can get to the hand, the safer you're going to be when it comes to impact in any way. Especially since this one has like a metal bead at the end that is specifically meant for closing the asp and also for impact purposes. Easily breaks a window to a car with just a whip of the wrist. Not a windshield, but a normal window, no problem. Okay. So instead of something like this, which does no good as the scooping block comes in, I'm shooting my body forward. In my hands, my shoulder needs to come covering my jawline and my head. I'm shooting myself forward. Typically, people will grab the tricep right here right away. I need you guys to be heavy on top of the arm first to start controlling that weapon. Okay? The closer I get to this, high up on the arm, people tend to think that it's safer because they're not having to swing the weapon. Sometimes it's true, but with this, every hit to the back of my skull or my back with a metal piece is going to be damaging. So I need to be on top of it, laying my whole weight down on top of her, and keeping my head to the shoulder. This one needs to come over quickly, the tricep too. If not, if she happens to open her arm up on the swing in and I come this way and I'm on the inside, she can trap my arm possibly, unless I have good control of being able to get to this side. But as soon as this touches, I'm looking to lower and scoop to my opposite side. Once we practice this one enough, the blocking motion, I needed to turn into a cupping to the tricep and keeping myself tight to her upper body. And I need my head tight to her upper body. Okay? Now with my head this way, I need to focus on pulling her downward as I'm striking, pulling her downward. If she falls, good. If she doesn't, I need to look back and search for that weapon quick. If it's aligned with my hip, I go boom, boom, boom. Okay? Here, pull back, grab, and I lean it towards her own back. And as I go, I push towards that side. I need to keep pressure on her shoulder this way. Okay? As I pull down, pulling in, I press the punching forward. Up. Okay, I'm kneeling, but typically I wouldn't actually kneel. We're defending, scooping, attacking, and then breaking the grip. Thank you for joining us. Good training. I'll figure out how to compose this.